I started to get involved in the processing of cocoa products in 1962. So later I moved to the production of chocolate. In the 1960s, our premier they participated in the well-known conference, and he committed to help Ghana to invest and develop the railway system. And in return, Ghana gave us a lot of cocoa. And so the cocoa at that time was processed by my factory. In 1962, I remember that was July or August. I just joined the factory, that is the Shanghai Falls butter factory. In October, we received this task to process cocoa. And so I had some education background about the processing of fat. I have never had any knowledge about how to process cocoa. I have never even seen cocoa before. So I have to talk with the people from the farm ministry, and they told me that that is cocoa and the cocoa beans. And they told us that you have to get the seeds from the cocoa beans, and then you in order to get the cocoa powder. So you can see that even the people in the farm industry, they know more about cocoa than me, and more experienced technicians or the engineers know little about cocoa. So we met a lot of difficulty. Now the young people, they have studied English. They find it at ease to talk with the foreigners. But people at my age, at that time, China was blocked by the West. And so people like my age had no way of communicating with the rest of the world. But I got this task to process the cocoa. And so I thought about the Shanghai coffee factory. So how did they process the coffee beans? And also I talked with a foreign trade company, and they said that when there was the cocoa beans, there must be the coffee beans. So they both came from the tropical areas. So there must be something in common between these two. So I went to the Shanghai coffee factory to talk with them, to learn from them how they processed the coffee beans. But later on, I figured out that cocoa beans are still different from the coffee beans. So the roasting or the processing of these two beans were quite different, although that they had something in common. So I had to figure it out on my own. And so I went to the Shanghai Library. At that time, it was called the Shanghai Intelligence Bureau, to read some literature. Actually, that I found from the whole library 2 lines of text and 2 photos about this topic. And basically, there is a pen, and it's used by the British, and also a machine. And also 1 line describing this machine. The machine also came from UK. So I found these 2 things in relation to the processing of the cocoa beans. So learned from these photos. I got from these photos some hint, and so we met a lot of problems. And so basically, I think that we are still blessed by the God that we get something that with our commitment and input.
In 1962, toward the end of the 1962 and in the beginning of 1963, the so-called the red capitalist, Mr. Xu, came back from Hong Kong to mainland China and asked him about the quality of our products. He didn't think it was good enough. He said they were not good enough to be put on shelves in stores. Back then, we thought if they were not good enough to be put in stores, we could just sell them along the street. I said, then it is going to be very unhygiene. And Mr. Xu said, actually, what I meant, Mr. Xu meant, was that it was not of the highest quality. It doesn't mean that it couldn't be sold. And since we were very ambitious back then, we decided we want to do a very good job. And after rounds of research and development in 1964, our products actually was so successful that it was sold in London supermarket, and it was back then that they won a major award for chocolate. But of course, that award did not belong to me. It was the owner of the entire company. We were a state-owned company. The owner was not mine, and this is how I won that major award. And after that, we won many domestic awards. In 1987, we won a gold medal in a food fair in Belgium. I am a guest lecturer in Jiangnan University. I would often tell the young students, what is the most fair thing? That you will reap what you sow is the most fair thing. You have to give if you want to take. God is fair. Now, I would often tell the youngsters that you have to be diligent in order to be successful. You have to be patient and persistent, because the development process might take a very long time. You might be faced with a lot of failures and setbacks, but you cannot lose your heart. You have to be devoted. Today, I listened to a number of presentations, and they say that in the product R&D process, you have to really love what you do. And I can't agree with them more. I am 78 years old now, and I'm still working at the front line because I love what I do. I think I can still make my contribution to the public, to consumers. That is why I am still working in the front line. I am now still developing new products. Thank you very much for your introduction. I would like to call you Grandma, if you allow me to. Now, Grandma G is an expert on chocolate, and her name is very well known among many chocolate companies, senior management, and people call her Grandma Chocolate in China. We're really proud to have you here. So I would like to say that the poem Youth really fits Grandma Chocolate here. She has a young soul. Now, I would like to talk about the subject chocolate from two perspectives. First, innovation, or R&D. Second, marketing. Is that okay? Okay. Now, on R&D. I have always been working on the R&D of new chocolate products. I am still actually working on new products. I have brought with me 3 new products. The first new product is a spicy chocolate. You're more than welcome to taste it. The spicy chocolate is very interesting. We see spicy chocolate in many other countries, but the spicy chocolate in other countries taste really spicy. right away. And the spice actually is stronger than the taste of chocolate. So you don't get the aroma of the chocolate. You can only taste the spicy part. I don't really think that is a good product if you can't really taste the chocolate aroma. But my spicy chocolate will give you a full mouth of chocolate aroma. You can feel it, and the spice only comes after a few seconds, and it is perfectly combined with the chocolate aroma. It is really pleasant to eat. And this is the first new product, and my idea behind the design. I have 3 principles in product design. First, safety. Second, nutrition. Third, tastiness. As a previous speaker said, if your product is not tasty, nobody would like to buy your product. You have to make sure that your product is both tasty and nutritious. At the same time, it has to be safe. Consumers have to have great confidence in your products. They have to be sure that your product is safe and healthy. These are the three principles for me in product R&D. Now, the second chocolate is oxidation chocolate. That was developed in 1997. Back then, my lab was a personal lab situated in Shanghai, located in Shanghai. Now, we run a national level, state-sponsored lab, which is much bigger. Now, this antioxidation chocolate is very interesting. My expertise is the processing of cocoa beans, and cocoa beans has very good endorphin, but in the process, a lot of endorphin is lost, which is a pity. In China, we say that food can help you cure diseases, and we decided to put antioxidants back into the chocolate. A lot of consumers really love this product. The director of the Salt Bureau in Xiamen loved this product. Her face, the left part of her face, has big black spots and yellow spots. She turned to me for help. She said that she wanted me to help her to deal with her facial color problem. I developed chocolate facial masks, which are popular, very effective. The chocolate facial masks actually were on TV in a TV interview by a Shanghai municipal TV station. But I told her that the facial masks cannot take effect right away. You should use the facial masks as well as the antioxidant chocolate. She used both products for a month before she visited me again. And she came with a formal guard of Chairman Mao, and she didn't tell me who she was when she visited me again, because she wanted to surprise me. And when I saw her, recognized her immediately. The black and yellow spots on her face were gone completely, and that is a very good example of the nutritious and health effects of our products. I never use any makeup products, but they say my skin is fair because I eat a lot of chocolate. A few days ago on a bakery fair, there was a foreign guest who's over 10 years younger than me, but in her blood test showed that the blood is not is filled with undesirable toxins, and her blood quality actually is lower than my blood quality. She wanted to know my secret, and I told her it was because I eat chocolate I develop every day. Many people say that chocolate has high fat content. Why do you consider it a healthy food? In fact, this is a misunderstanding because cocoa butter is good for your heart arteries, and it is very different from butter or fat from animals like beef, cows, or goats. Cocoa butter could help you to clean up your heart arteries. I have to say that the Chinese people have some misunderstanding on milk. Another misunderstanding is that people say that if you eat chocolate, you tend to get fat. But that is not true. I've been eating chocolate for 60 years, but you can see that I am not fat. I'm not very slim though, but I have a good body shape. And many people say that if you eat chocolate frequently, does your face or skin color turn to black? That is, of course, a myth. That is not true. There are a number of misconceptions, and that is why even I am rather old, I am here because I want to raise awareness of the public so that they know that chocolate is really good. Currently, I am mentoring a group of apprentices and students so that I can pass on my trade craft. And second, I want to increase public awareness through campaign events because I want to demystify chocolate so that there is no misunderstanding on chocolate. And what's more, some foreigners think that Chinese chocolate or made in China is of a rubbish quality. In 2005, I developed a chocolate product, which is the spicy chocolate, and offered it to a German chocolate expert. This German chocolate expert was very surprised about the high quality, and she was surprised to find out that it was developed by me. And that is why, after 2005, she called me Madam Chocolate. That is why you can see that my nickname, Madam Chocolate, was given to me by this German chocolate expert. And when she retired, she told her successor that in Shanghai there's this Madam Chocolate who is really worth knowing. Chocolate is a new thing to the Chinese people. It is from the West. But we want to combine what's best from the West with what's best from the East. Last year, I tried my hands at chocolate mooncakes. I created 2,000 boxes of chocolate mooncakes.
And they were all sold out. And so basically that they look like something from the West, but actually the feeling all come from China. For example, the black sesame. And black sesame sometimes will cover the taste of chocolate because the sesame's taste is too powerful. So how can you combine the two tastes? And 1 + 1 is even bigger than 2. I think that's the craft where the skill is. Sesame is powerful in taste and nutrition, but sometimes its taste is too powerful. It's bad if its taste covers the taste of the chocolate. So the key is to reduce the taste of sesame, to bring about the taste of chocolate. And so I spent some energy in studying that. That is how to develop this filling for the mooncake. And so the chocolate mooncake was a successful development last year, and chocolate is sweet, but I developed chocolate of the beef taste, so it's salty in taste. So how to combine the sweet with the salty taste. So this is another successful development last year. And that is why that the chocolate mooncake was sold out overnight. And last year, and so 1 month after the mooncakes were sold out last year, people started to order the chocolate mooncakes for this year. So I come back to the theme of this forum, that is you need to have constant innovation. And the preserved plum skin, that's a Chinese herbal material, and it's nutritious and it's healthy, but sometimes the process of making the preserved plum skin is not that good. Sometimes hygiene is a problem. So I refuse to source the preserved plum skin or the orange peels or the plum skin. So I made the orange peels on my own. So sometimes sourcing of the raw materials can be a problem. If I made my own raw material, I can produce a limited number of finished products. But if I source the raw material from the third party, I'm concerned about the quality of the raw material. So that's my struggle. It is, I think that for R&D job, you need to have innovation, you need to have passion. Without innovation, it's impossible for you to keep launching new products. So in October 2013, I came to Suzhou and started to work for the China Chocolate R&D Center. And I kept innovating, and I developed a dozen of products. I don't think that I will have a dementia problem because I keep innovating. Grandma, so when you stand up, I'm so concerned because you are so passionate. And maybe some people are thinking back in their mind that maybe you are boasting yourself or you are promoting your own product. Actually, that the grandma doesn't need to promote his products because his formula has been under such a hot sale in the market. And so today, the grandma has brought with her some of her sample products. And I brought here 3 samples. Where's Bill? Bill has the samples. So let's taste these products. So we have prepared enough samples. So this is a spicy chocolate, right? Yes, now it's a spicy chocolate. So I tried one piece. Oh, it's truly tasty. And there's a strong spicy flavor. And the chocolate beans, are they imported from abroad or are they locally sourced? I think that I'm good at selecting raw materials because I know the industry so well. And the chocolate beans, some imported from Ecuador, and some, for example, the Cocoadale, and some from Ghana. And how about the chili? And some come from Guizhou. And for you to choose the chili needs to be spicy and fragrant, so that you need to have the spicy flavor and also the fragrance. So I chose the chili, some from the Guizhou province of China. Next question. And so the Madame Sun from Mars, and she sent me a text message that is a question for you. I'm an outsider, so I have to read from my mobile phone. The question is, she said that she wants to ask Grandma Chocolate a question. And Jialabao has claimed in EU that chocolate is good for the heart health and also the cardiovascular. So have you heard about this claim? Yes. And so do you have any comments about this claim? That is, the chocolate is good for the heart and also the cardiovascular. How to say? And Jialabao is the biggest player in the roasting industry. And the company is now roasting chocolate in China. But it's not doing that well in China. And it's not doing that well in terms of its volume. The volume is not big enough. And the company has a branch in Suzhou. I have been invited to go to his factory for a few occasions. Hello, Jialabao. So I think that has been slow in developing products for the China market. Do you have any understanding about ingredient? And there's an ingredient in chocolate, and actually that's the natural, the antioxidant, but it gives the chocolate the very bad taste. So, for example, the cocoa beans, they need to be fermented. And so this ingredient will be naturally lost. And through processing, and through deshelling, and through roasting, and through grinding, a series of processes. And this ingredient that gives chocolate the bad taste will be removed, and its antioxidant function will also get lost. And so I need to do some research to make sure that antioxidant function of chocolate will be resumed. And this ingredient is actually the flavanol. Bamboo shoots. The bamboos are very popular in China. And inside the bamboo and also the bamboo leaves, so can allow us to attract the antioxidant ingredients. And Professor Zhang Ying from Zhejiang University has been researching on it. And also the green tea has also the antioxidant. And so the antioxidant can also be extracted from the teas. And also, for example, the liquor. And also, for example, the grape seed. And so the antioxidant, the ingredients are pervasive in China, so we need to make best use of them. So next, let's talk about the market. So I'm afraid that you will say that I admire the West too much. I like chocolate personally. But when I buy chocolate, I tend to choose the foreign brands. So maybe I will offend a lot of people. But I found that the chocolate from the West that's too sweet, and so I tasted the chocolate from Cordova that for 6 pieces it cost me the 200 yen. That tastes better. Maybe I have spent so much on it, so I assume that it must have tasted better. The West is not does not have the local chocolate beans. And the Western chocolate has left us the impression that it is more premium in quality. And so my question is that why the Western chocolate has left us with such an impression. To answer your question, I have to say that to make good chocolate, you have to be good at choosing the right material, raw material. You don't necessarily choose the best raw material, but the proper raw material. That is, proper raw material for your products. Let me give an example. If I produce a chocolate for summer, and chocolate needs to be harder so as to go against the heat. For this purpose, I have to choose the chocolate bean seeds from Indonesia. And instead, you should not choose the chocolate bean seeds from Brazil. And the chocolate bean seeds from Ghana tends to be softer. So it's not fit for the chocolate production in summer. So this means that you have to choose the proper raw materials for your products, and also in order to fit for the right season and the right market.
This is my area of expertise, so I know what the right raw materials or ingredients to choose. And you should have the right recipe or formula. Your formula has to be in line with, let's say, Chinese consumers' taste or foreign consumers' preference. I would take the middle ground. My recipe is loved both by foreigners and Chinese consumers. Our lab gets a lot of visits from foreigners, so I decided to take the middle road. Foreigners and Chinese people alike like my chocolate and their taste. What's more, thirdly, manufacturing process has to be delicate and sophisticated. We've done numerous experiments. You have to find the right process. Even though you get the ingredients right, the formula right, you cannot produce desirable products. That is why processes and techniques are very important. You have to make sure that you have the best processes in place. for Chinese companies that are doing well, could you rank them or score them? But if I do that, I will make some people rather unhappy, right? Well, we shall be honest and frank. Okay, okay, then I'll be honest and truthful. Now let's look at Dove. Dove is not from China, is it? Oh, Dove is very popular, and it is mostly produced in China. When Dove entered China, originally the products were tasty, but it suffered losses for 4 successive years. Later on, it turned out profit. However, Dove products no longer taste good. Many people say that our products are better tasting than Dove products because, first of all, the brand is already well known. The ingredients, the raw materials they choose are of a lower quality. That is a pity. Kingdi is a state-owned company, and it is not performing very well in the market. It has been struggling for many years. It keeps losing money, but it is still not very popular. It is actually the biggest chocolate brand in China. In 2008, one of its managers participated in a chocolate seminar in Shanghai. I was one of the speakers, and during the dinner banquet, he said that he wanted to visit my lab, and I gave him some antioxidant chocolate to taste. He said that the chocolate tasted so strong and aromatic. We also produce antioxidant chocolate, but they do not taste aromatic. Then I said they shall not be called chocolate if they do not taste chocolatey. If you produce chocolate, you have to make sure that it has the aroma and taste of the original chocolate content, right? That is the core of the product. And he said, then could you be our consultant for Le Comte? I said that since I am rather old, I have to decline your offer. Le Comte is the most well-known chocolate brand in China. This is the most well-known domestic brand, but it is not doing very well in the market. That is a shame. That is a pity. You satisfied with my honest opinions? See, I have made 2 major companies unhappy now. My colleagues told me that the time is up. But I would like to take a few extra minutes because I want our meetings to offer tangible or authentic content. That I would like to thank all of you for your patience and staying with us. I have one more question. I know that your chocolate is sold at premium price. The price is on par with international brands. Are you concerned that one day your chocolate is mass-produced, and if it's sold at a very high price, are you worried that people will not buy them? Many people say that my chocolate products are very cheap. I said that we're a lab, and I am not actually making a profit out of this product. I understand that your products have good value for money. You have very high quality in your products. By the way, how do you like spicy chocolate? Really good, right? I'm not an expert on chocolate, but do you like it? Dr. Chen, Mr. Cao, do you like the chocolate you try?
And you're right, the spiciness comes after a couple of seconds.
That sounds fantastic. I have great faith in you, Grandma Chocolate. You are in the chocolate business, I'm in the conference business. To deliver high quality things, you have to show the very high costs. I understand that cocoa butter is very expensive. Good things are expensive. That's the way of life. So what we need to do is to cultivate a loyal fan base or customer base who really knows and appreciates high quality chocolate. We are a state-sponsored research center, but we do not get state funding. We are financially independent. We would provide technological consultant services to other companies to have enough financial resources. I'm not able to afford expensive ads, but I would attend all kinds of food fairs, and I would take with me different samples for the participants to taste. This is my way of doing publicity, and I would actually, I'm quite well known among the food industry, and more people are becoming my loyal and repeat customers. Indeed, it might take you some time to create some really good products, but you have to be really patient. You have to be persistent. Indeed, I agree. You can't be short-sighted and only get interested in making money. You can't use fake or low-quality ingredients. I know all there's to know to use fake ingredients, like in the incident, food additive incident earlier this year. We were approached by a Frenchman, and he asked me to use this artificial ingredients to make chocolate. Actually, I did make a really nice tasting chocolate out of the artificial ingredients. So I have the expertise, but I won't do that to my own products. That concludes our talk today. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.